Here is a list of the most compelling comments we've received in the last 5 days. Want to get in on it? Leave a constructive and positive comment below to increase your chances. Teacher spots boy alone on the road, then she realizes he's in desperate need of help. Elementary school teacher Keller Sutherland hated letting her students down. Whenever a lesson plan didn't connect with students, she drove around in a silent frustration, wondering if she could have better explained multiplication tables or an art project. She cared about her kids, and that's why she immediately stopped when she saw one of her students wandering alone on the street and listened while he explained his dire situation.
When I see myself as a teacher, it just goes so far beyond the classroom.
Teaching boiled over into her personal life. It was a job that required more than 40 hours of attention every week. She did anything for her kids, which was why one day in February 2019, Miss Sutherland couldn't wait to be home and rest. Exhausted from a tough day, she was elated when a school faculty meeting was canceled. She headed home to her husband a little early and spotted something strange. While driving home, Miss Sutherland was talking over the phone with her husband.
Told my husband, I said, there's a child in the road on his bike, not sure what's going on.
There was a ton of traffic at the time, but no one was concerned about the kid, except Miss Sutherland. Feeling she needed to help this boy, because being a teacher didn't stop outside her classroom at the end of the school day.
But I feel like I need to turn around, and so I flipped my car around, turned around.
She approached the little biker. That's when she realized she knew this kid. The 7-year-old's name was Cameron Simonchik, and he was one of her students. He was frazzled and out of breath, and he immediately tried explaining himself. The story just poured out of him. For Cameron, it was an ordinary day in Greenville County, South Carolina. He went to school, was taught by his first-grade teacher, Miss Sutherland, and then headed home on his own. Cameron was very independent for his age. His parents believed he could make it to school and back home on his own. All he needed was his trusty bike, and they were right. After school that day, he did make it home. However, when he returned home that day, something was very different. It was rather quiet in the house. He walked through his home to see if anyone else was there, but he came across a terrifying sight. In the kitchen, he screamed at the sight of his father passed out on the ground. Smart kid that he was, Cameron knew all about his father's medical condition and its consequences. Even at his young age, Cameron understood his father was diabetic and suffered from episodes that left him incapacitated. He couldn't treat his father, so he tried calling for help, but he ran into an issue. The clock was ticking for Cameron's father, who was suffering from a diabetic episode of low insulin levels, which can be fatal.
So I asked him, I said, Cameron, did you call 911? And he said, I tried to call 911, but unfortunately I didn't know the passcode to my dad's phone.
The boy couldn't call for help, not over the phone, so he darted out the front door.
My dad got sick. I went to get help at the neighbors, and neither of the neighbors were home, so I got on my bike.
Without many other options, he grabbed his bike and pedaled as fast as he could to reach someone else who could help, his grandma. Unfortunately, the emergency trip to Grandma's was going to be a 5-mile trek that involved crossing a bustling highway. Still, Cameron had to save his dad. As scared as he was, he pushed forward.
Tried to go to my grandma's, but my teacher showed up and she saw me.
That's when Miss Sutherland saw him pedaling frantically down the busy road. After listening to his story, she helped him calm down. Dialing 911 on her own phone, she assured Cameron everything would be all right, but she couldn't know for sure. Over Miss Sutherland's phone, Cameron explained the situation perfectly for emergency workers.
He said, my dad's diabetic. Sometimes he has episodes, and when he does, he loses brain function.
From there, EMTs rushed to save his father. When EMTs arrived, Cameron's dad was given the insulin he needed. He increased his sugar levels by eating crackers that Miss Sutherland happened to have on her. Slowly, he regained his strength. Word of the heroism made it back to Ellen Woodside Elementary. There, administrators implemented lessons for their students on how to handle emergencies, telling students to know their addresses, important phone numbers, and medical history of their family members. Miss Sutherland also took the time to honor Cameron's bravery.
Cameron was so calm and brave in that moment, and I don't want to say it was because of me, but I was just thankful God placed me there, and he felt helpless, and the only way he could get help was drive 5 miles to Grandma's house, and I'm just grateful to have had that moment just to also uplift him.
The ordeal gave Miss Sutherland a great deal of confidence. Saving a life was all in a day's work. Cameron not only has his dad safe and healthy, but he also has the wonderful teacher who was there for him that day. She, like teachers around the country, are finding new ways to help their students.
Who's somebody that inspires you?
You.
Me? Why me? No way.
Because you helped me with my dad.
For real? That makes me so proud.